Gazing into the star-strewn night, perhaps you have asked yourself this question more than once. Why have we humans exerted so much effort searching for extraterrestrial civilizations? We have sent probes to the edges of the solar system, broadcast messages into the cosmos, and even landed instruments on Mars. Yet all this effort has been met with silence. The universe is vast, so vast that one cannot help but wonder, are we truly alone? Perhaps the reason we see no civilizations is not that they never existed, but that the universe we observe is already a vast ruin of civilizations, a place where complex structures once arose and have long since faded. The universe does not respond to our questions. It does not highlight any single event or structure. It simply exists in the same manner, continuously, and this very continuity is already profoundly silent. When we consider the cosmos on this scale, the absence of detectable civilizations becomes almost natural. Civilizations, no matter how sophisticated, leave traces that are ultimately fragile. Over time, entropy, radiation, and gravitational perturbations gradually erase the signs of complex systems. A space station left unattended will drift from its orbit. A megastructure will suffer countless micro-impacts, gradually weakening its integrity. Systems once synchronized will lose coordination. At first, these changes are local and subtle, but over millions or billions of years, they accumulate, leading to widespread decay. The result is decomposition, dispersion, and the reintegration of matter into the background cosmos. Artificial structures eventually lose all discernible characteristics. On Earth, we already observe similar processes on smaller scales. Ancient cities, at the moment they are abandoned, still display clear streets, houses, plazas, and road networks. But as time passes, natural erosion begins to alter these structures. Rain washes away soil, wind scatters loose materials, and vegetation slowly encroaches. Roofs collapse, walls crack, roads are covered by sediment. Eventually, surface observation alone cannot reveal the city's former presence. Only careful archaeological examination or minute material traces provide hints. Over longer timescales, geological processes dominate. Tectonic shifts reshape landscapes. Volcanic activity buries old layers, and sedimentation adds new material. The layer that once belonged to human civilization becomes an indistinguishable part of the Earth's crust. Civilization, at this point, no longer exists as a direct object. It exists only as a subtle inference. The universe amplifies this process to extremes. There is no stable atmosphere, no protective buffer, no long-term static environment. All structures are exposed to radiation, impacts from micrometeoroids, temperature fluctuations, and gravitational perturbations. Even immense constructs, left unmaintained, gradually lose their coherence. What might have been a precise orbit slowly drifts. Large structures break down in countless minor collisions. Systems once coordinated begin to desynchronize. Over long timescales, these minor changes accumulate into large-scale instability. Eventually, the civilization's material legacy is absorbed into the background matter of the universe. This leads to a crucial insight. On a cosmic scale, civilizations may not leave behind ruins in any conventional sense. Instead, they leave matter and energy states indistinguishable from the natural background. When we observe the galaxy today, we do not see an absence of civilization. We see a system where all local differences have been smoothed, where historical layers have been erased, leaving only the continuous operation of physical processes. The question is no longer whether civilizations exist, but what forms of structure can persist over unimaginable timescales without being erased. Maintaining a complex civilization requires ongoing energy input. On Earth, this is evident. Structures decay if unmaintained. Roads crumble. Metals corrode. Electronic systems fail. In space, this process is far more thorough. Nothing is stationary. All systems are exposed to environmental disturbances, and over millions of years, even massive constructs inevitably degrade. Complex civilizations face a choice. They can either continually invest resources to maintain their structures, or gradually reduce complexity and integrate with the surrounding environment. Over cosmic timescales, both paths lead to the same result. A civilization becomes increasingly indistinguishable from its environment. Over immense stretches of time, a civilization gradually shifts from expansion to maintenance. The act of maintaining structures consumes an ever-growing share of resources. As complexity increases, so does the likelihood of system failures. Failures demand repairs. Repairs consume resources, and this feedback loop continues indefinitely. Eventually, expansion halts completely. New structures cease to appear. Old structures begin to degrade. Redundancy within the system slowly diminishes. Civilization's behavior simplifies into a single repeating pattern. Maintain, repair, sustain. This process does not culminate in sudden collapse. Instead, it stretches across vast timescales, producing a gradual fading. Civilizations become increasingly integrated with the natural processes of the universe. Their once distinct features merge seamlessly into the flow of matter and energy. In effect, the civilization is no longer directly observable. It exists only as subtle influences, detectable faintly if at all. On cosmic scales, this mechanism is amplified. There are no protective envelopes, no static corners. Everything is exposed to radiation, to impacts, to gravitational forces, to temperature variations. A structure in orbit will slowly deviate. A massive space habitat will deteriorate under countless minor collisions. A long operating system gradually loses synchronization. Initially, these changes are small and localized, but over millions or billions of years, they accumulate, transforming local disturbances into global decay. Ultimately, any material traces of civilization are absorbed into the surrounding cosmos, becoming indistinguishable from natural formations. We might then conclude that the universe does not display empty voids in the sense of never hosting intelligent life. Rather, it displays a universe in which all local distinctions have been erased, absorbed, and averaged into a continuous whole. History itself is smoothed, leaving only the ongoing dance of matter and energy. Civilizations may have arisen, expanded, influenced their surroundings, yet over cosmic timescales, all traces are absorbed. What remains is the continuous operation of physical processes. To understand this more intuitively, consider that civilizations are specialized networks of physical systems. They consist of energy distribution networks, information systems, material cycles, and spatial infrastructures. Each subsystem depends on the others to maintain overall stability. Over short timescales, these systems can appear extremely stable and even capable of expansion. But such stability relies on the assumption that environmental changes occur slowly. The universe offers no such stability. Stars evolve, orbits shift, radiation fluctuates, interstellar gas and dust redistribute. These processes, while individually slow, combine into a persistent source of disturbance. No system can completely ignore these influences. Complex structures require continuous maintenance. Without it, degradation is inevitable. Over cosmic durations, civilization merges increasingly with the background, and any remaining complexity gradually dissolves into the flow of the universe. This dynamic introduces a profound insight. Civilizations, no matter how advanced, cannot remain indefinitely distinct. The long-term survival of complexity is constrained by the laws of physics and by entropy. Entropy is not merely a measure of disorder. It signifies the gradual loss of information that differentiates one state from another. The more intricate the system, the more it relies on low entropy conditions, which are inherently unstable. Structures require continuous energy input to persist. Once maintenance falters, decay begins, accelerating over time. Even on Earth, we observe this principle. All unmaintained systems decay. Roads crumble, buildings erode, machinery fails. On cosmic scales, this process is far more pervasive. Nothing is ever truly static. Everything is in motion, exposed to continual environmental disturbances. Any civilization attempting to maintain structures indefinitely faces the same inevitabilities. Over enough time, whether through constant repair or gradual simplification, civilizations fade from detectability, leaving only the smooth, continuous flow of the cosmos as observable reality. Civilizations, as physical networks, are bound by fundamental limits. Their complexity is finite, and their ability to resist decay is constrained by the relentless advance of entropy. Over short durations, these limits are barely noticeable. A city can stand for centuries, a starship can orbit for decades, and a communication network can function for millennia. But when the timescale extends to millions or billions of years, even the most robust systems face inevitable degradation. Micro-impacts, temperature extremes, radiation exposure, and gravitational perturbations gradually weaken structural integrity. The very fabric of complex systems begins to fray. In this sense, the universe does not obliterate civilizations out of malice or neglect. It is simply governed by physical processes that erase distinctions over time. Stars burn and age, planetary orbits drift, interstellar dust and gas redistribute matter. These forces act continuously and indiscriminately. A civilization left unmaintained slowly loses its uniqueness. Its structures dissolve, its signals fade, and its presence merges with the background of the cosmos. What was once identifiable as a civilization becomes, in the end, indistinguishable from the natural environment. This perspective transforms how we understand the so-called Fermi paradox. The absence of detectable extraterrestrial civilizations is not necessarily evidence of absence. Instead, it may reflect the fundamental limits of long-term persistence in a dynamic universe. Civilizations may have emerged, flourished, and expanded, but over cosmic timescales, all traces are erased. What remains is the continuous, uninterrupted operation of matter and energy. Consider again Earth as a microcosm. Ancient civilizations leave remnants that are gradually consumed by natural processes. Buildings crumble, roads are buried, metals corrode. Over thousands of years, the traces of human activity become subtle and nearly invisible. Only careful examination of geological layers or microscopic remnants can reveal that a civilization once existed. If we scale this process up to cosmic proportions, the principle remains the same. Civilizations, no matter how advanced, cannot indefinitely resist the slow but relentless forces of decay. Even massive space structures, enormous planetary engineering projects, or mega-scale energy systems are not exempt. Without continuous maintenance, they drift, weaken, and fragment. Over millions of years, their initially coherent form dissolves into the background matter of the universe. In effect, the universe is a vast eraser, smoothing all distinctions over eons. Civilization does not vanish suddenly. It fades gradually, becoming ever more inseparable from the ongoing flow of cosmic processes. The ultimate consequence is profound. The universe we observe is not empty because civilizations never existed, but because time, entropy, and environmental perturbations gradually eliminate their distinctiveness. Civilization's fingerprints on the cosmos are smoothed into near invisibility, leaving only the faintest residual influences. When we gaze at the Milky Way, we see not an absence of life or intelligence, but the result of billions of years of smoothing, blending, and averaging a continuous cosmic backdrop against which complexity emerges briefly, only to dissolve once more. This realization reframes our search for extraterrestrial intelligence. It suggests that observable signals are ephemeral and rare. Even if civilizations arise frequently, their detectable phases may be brief in the cosmic timeline. Vast stretches of time act as a filter, ensuring that only the most persistent and maintenance-intensive systems remain noticeable. Everything else becomes part of the cosmic background, indistinguishable from natural processes. Civilizations, therefore, exist within a narrow window of detectability. Their emergence, growth, and decline occur within the larger context of an indifferent universe. For those of us observing from Earth, this creates the appearance of silence and emptiness. But in reality, the universe may be densely populated with histories that are now invisible, absorbed into the smooth, continuous flow of cosmic matter and energy. In this view, civilization is not a permanent mark upon the universe. It is a temporary configuration, a fleeting arrangement of energy and matter that arises, persists, and gradually dissolves. Its permanence is illusory. The longer the timescale, the more pronounced the fading becomes. Over millions, tens of millions, or billions of years, every structure, signal, and artifact of civilization blends seamlessly into the surrounding cosmos. What survives is only the continuous, neutral processes of physics: the burning of stars, the orbiting of planets, the slow drift of interstellar dust. Even highly durable materials are subject to decay. Metals oxidize, composites fracture, and engineered alloys weaken under cosmic radiation. Materials designed to last centuries or millennia eventually succumb to slow but persistent forces. Without active maintenance, synchronization is lost, systems fall out of alignment, and stability diminishes. The universe does not punish complexity. It simply allows time to act upon it, gradually equalizing all differences. This perspective transforms our understanding of the traces civilizations might leave behind. On Earth, ancient ruins gradually disappear, leaving only subtle clues in the geological record. On cosmic scales, the same principle applies, magnified many times over. Structures in orbit, artificial satellites, megastructures, even terraformed planets, all eventually succumb to erosion by cosmic forces. The greater the scale, the more continuous the degradation, the less distinguishable any trace becomes from the surrounding environment. From this, a startling conclusion emerges. The observable silence of the cosmos is compatible with the prior existence of innumerable civilizations. Silence does not equal emptiness. The universe we observe may be rich with histories that have already faded beyond recognition. Physical evidence has been smoothed into continuity, leaving no sharp boundaries, no clear relics, no persistent signals. All that remains is the ongoing operation of matter and energy, the background hum of cosmic processes stretching across eons. Even civilizations that achieved mastery over energy and matter would ultimately face the same fate. The laws of physics impose strict limitations. Energy must be expended to maintain structure. Information must be continuously preserved, and failure to do so guarantees decay. Over cosmic timescales, maintenance becomes an unending requirement. As soon as the energy input ceases or falls short, complexity begins to collapse. Structures degrade, systems drift apart, and synchronization is lost. Eventually, even the grandest projects dissolve, becoming indistinguishable from natural formations. The implications are profound for the search for extraterrestrial life. Our efforts to detect signals, probe distant worlds, or search for megastructures must consider the fleeting nature of detectable civilization. Even if life and intelligence are common, the fraction of time during which a civilization remains observable may be minuscule. Vast cosmic durations act as a filter, erasing traces of all but those civilizations capable of sustaining themselves through relentless maintenance. The universe we see today is thus not a universe devoid of life, but a universe in which traces have been gently absorbed into the continuous flow of matter and energy. The final humbling truth emerges. In the grand cosmic scheme, survival does not necessarily imply visibility. To endure across eons, a civilization must either constantly expend energy to maintain itself or surrender complexity, merging with the background flow of the universe. Over sufficient timescales, the very concept of civilization as a distinct, observable entity fades. What remains is the seamless, uninterrupted operation of cosmic processes. From our vantage point on Earth, the universe appears silent, but that silence is the echo of countless histories, absorbed into the continuum of space, matter, and time. Even the most resilient civilizations, those capable of shaping planets or engineering vast orbital structures, cannot escape the relentless flow of cosmic time. What appears permanent in human terms, cities, monuments, megastructures, becomes ephemeral on scales of millions or billions of years. Without active preservation, all evidence of civilization gradually merges with the environment. Stellar systems continue their motions, galaxies rotate, and matter redistributes, slowly erasing the fingerprints of intelligent activity. On Earth, we see analogous processes on smaller timescales. Ancient buildings crumble, roads vanish beneath layers of sediment, metals corrode, and even monumental works eventually lose their recognizable shape. Over millennia, only careful scientific examination or microscopic traces can reveal the former presence of human society. Scale this principle up to the cosmos, and the result is inevitable. Civilizations, no matter how grand, leave little or no direct evidence after vast periods. They dissolve into the universal background, their histories absorbed into the ongoing flow of matter and energy. This understanding reframes how we think about cosmic silence. The Fermi paradox, the apparent contradiction between the high probability of extraterrestrial life and our lack of observable evidence, may reflect a fundamental truth. Detectable civilization is fleeting. Civilizations may emerge frequently, flourish temporarily, and leave subtle influences, but the longer the timescale, the more all distinctions blur. The universe is not empty. It is a vast record of histories now obscured by time itself. Maintaining complex structures requires perpetual energy input. Any lapse in maintenance triggers gradual decay. On cosmic scales, this decay is unavoidable. Tiny perturbations, from micro-impacts to gravitational shifts, accumulate over millions or billions of years, gradually destabilizing even the largest and most robust systems. Complexity cannot persist indefinitely without continuous support, and the energy required to sustain it grows with the system's scale. Inevitably, civilizations face the choice between continuous resource expenditure or gradual simplification. Either path results in a convergence toward indistinguishability from the surrounding universe. Thus, the absence of observable civilizations does not imply their non-existence. Instead, it reveals the universal tendency toward homogenization over time. Structures, signals, and artifacts all eventually merge with the cosmic background. What remains is the smooth, continuous operation of physical laws. Stars burning, planets orbiting, galaxies rotating. Civilization, in its original, recognizable form, ceases to be detectable. it becomes a subtle imprint, a history folded into the grand continuum of space and time. From our vantage point, the universe seems silent. Yet this silence is not emptiness. It is the echo of countless civilizations, histories once vibrant, now gently dissolved into the background of matter and energy. It is the ultimate consequence of time, entropy, and the dynamic nature of cosmic environments. Civilizations rise, expand, influence their surroundings, and gradually fade, leaving only the faintest traces that require extraordinary observation to discern. Perhaps the most humbling realization is this: the universe we observe is continuous and undifferentiated, not because civilizations never existed, but because they could not persist as distinct, lasting entities over the unimaginable expanse of cosmic time. Their legacy is not the ruins of structures or detectable signals, but the subtle shaping of matter and energy into patterns that are now indistinguishable from natural processes. In the vast, silent cosmos, what remains is the flow itself, the endless, uninterrupted operation of the universe. Ultimately, the universe teaches us a profound lesson about impermanence and the limits of persistence. Civilization is a transient configuration, a fleeting arrangement of matter and energy that appears remarkable for a brief moment in cosmic time. No matter how advanced, no matter how vast, every system faces the same inevitabilities: entropy, environmental perturbations, and the relentless march of time. Yet this transience does not diminish the significance of civilization. On the contrary, it highlights the remarkable resilience and ingenuity required to sustain complexity, even temporarily, in an environment governed by unyielding physical laws. Civilizations rise, flourish, and interact with their surroundings, leaving subtle imprints that can influence the course of cosmic evolution, even if those imprints are ultimately absorbed into the universal background. From this perspective, the silence we observe is not discouraging. It is a reflection of the immense timescales and the extreme difficulty of persistence in a dynamic universe. Every civilization that ever existed has faced this challenge, and every signal, structure, or artifact is fleeting. What endures is the universe itself, the continuous, unbroken operation of matter and energy, unfolding across eons in a grand and silent rhythm. Perhaps this understanding offers a form of quiet comfort. The universe, though silent, is not empty. It is rich with histories, with countless civilizations that once existed and influenced the cosmos in ways now hidden from our direct perception. Time, in its infinite patience, gradually absorbs all distinctions, but in doing so, it creates a continuous, harmonious backdrop against which new complexity can emerge. So, as we gaze at the night sky, as we send our probes and listen for signals, we might remember that silence is not absence. It is the echo of histories, folded into the very fabric of the cosmos, waiting to be glimpsed, understood, and imagined. And perhaps, in the quiet of the universe, there is a deeper beauty, the knowledge that civilization, however fleeting, is part of an ongoing, eternal rhythm, a momentary note in the symphony of existence, blending seamlessly into the vast, unending flow of space and time. As we drift into sleep, let this thought accompany us. Even in apparent silence, the universe is alive with the stories of all that has been, all that persists, and all that continues in the subtle, enduring hum of cosmic existence. Beyond this reflection, consider how civilizations shape the cosmos in subtle ways before they fade. Even if no ruins remain, even if no signals persist, every action, every energy shift, every orbital adjustment, every manipulation of matter leaves a trace. These traces are not monuments. They are whispers folded into the fabric of space. Over time, They become indistinguishable from natural processes, yet they carry the imprint of deliberate order, a signature that once signified intelligence. In this light, the silence of the universe is not an absence of life or mind. It is the cumulative effect of time and entropy. Every structure, every message, every artifact that was ever remarkable eventually succumbs to the slow, inexorable forces of decay. Orbits drift, materials erode, energy dissipates. What we might call a civilization's footprint gradually blends with the background of cosmic matter. The universe does not erase, it absorbs. It smooths sharp edges into continuity, leaving behind a seamless backdrop against which new forms of complexity can emerge. We can draw a parallel with our own planet. Ancient cities that once bustled with life now exist only in fragments. Roofs have fallen, streets have vanished, walls have crumbled, and roads have been covered by layers of earth. Archaeologists uncover hints of these civilizations through meticulous study: a shard of pottery, a fragment of metal, a trace of foundation. Imagine scaling this process to the universe. Civilizations are the cities, the galaxies, the layers of sediment, and time the slow, unrelenting force that integrates all into a continuous whole. Even in space, the mechanisms of erasure are active. Radiation weakens materials. Micro-impacts chip away structures. Temperature extremes stress constructions, and gravitational forces shift orbits. A vast orbital complex that required centuries to build will, over millions of years, gradually unravel. A planetary engineering project will lose its coherence as perturbations accumulate. Without constant maintenance, even the grandest constructs are destined to dissolve into the natural motion of matter. Yet there is a subtle elegance in this inevitability. The universe, in its quiet continuity, allows for brief moments of extraordinary complexity: civilizations, art, structures, signals, but it does so within the framework of impermanence. The beauty of these emergent phenomena is heightened precisely because they are temporary, ephemeral expressions in a background of endless flow. In this sense, silence itself is a kind of profound narrative, a record not of emptiness, but of countless fleeting moments woven into an eternal tapestry. From our perspective, looking out at the stars, this means that we are witnesses to a universe that has been and will continue to be full of transient brilliance. Some civilizations may have spread across many worlds, influencing environments, perhaps even creating structures of unimaginable scale. Others may have remained small, ephemeral, barely leaving detectable traces. Yet over millions and billions of years, the universe homogenizes all histories, blending every legacy into the continuous operation of physical law. We, as observers, are part of this grand story. Every human endeavor, every probe, every signal we send into the void adds a note to the cosmic symphony, however faint it may be in the immensity of space and time. Our presence is temporary, yes, but meaningful, for it is a momentary flicker of complexity that can, at least briefly, alter the flow of matter and energy. In this way, we continue the cycle of emergence and dissolution, adding to the history that will one day be fully absorbed, yet leaving a trace that, in principle, might be detected by far future observers. Perhaps this perspective brings a kind of quiet reassurance. Though civilizations are transient, though the universe eventually absorbs every structure, the flow of creation, persistence, and eventual dissolution is continuous. It is not chaotic, nor is it empty. It is a rhythm, a subtle and enduring hum, in which each act of intelligence, each emergent pattern, contributes to the unfolding story of the cosmos. And so, as you rest and let your thoughts drift along with the stars, remember that even in silence, the universe is alive. It is alive with the echoes of all that has been, the continuities that persist, and the subtle movements that carry forward the legacies of countless civilizations, blending seamlessly into the endless, unbroken flow of cosmic existence. In this hum, there is both tranquility and wonder, a gentle reminder that everything, from the tiniest fragment of human endeavor to the grandest interstellar structure, participates in the same cosmic rhythm. For a brief moment, as we exist and observe, we too are part of this enduring cadence, adding our voice to the chorus of being that resonates across the universe, unceasing and eternal. Even as civilizations fade and their traces are absorbed into the cosmos, the universe continues to unfold in patterns both simple and intricate. Galaxies spin, stars are born and die, planets shift in their orbits, and matter cycles through countless forms. This constant motion is not chaotic. It has structure, rhythm, and predictability. It provides a stage upon which complexity can arise, flourish briefly, and then dissolve back into the continuum of cosmic processes. Every event, every system, every fleeting structure contributes to this ongoing orchestration. Consider, for a moment, the paradox of time and impermanence. To exist is to be subject to the gradual dissolution of identity, to be part of a system whose ultimate trajectory is integration into a broader whole. Yet, this very limitation gives existence its poignancy. Civilizations, planets, and stars all experience this process of emergence and absorption. Their impermanence makes every moment of complexity remarkable, every signal and structure a precious anomaly against the uniform backdrop of the universe. Even our own endeavors on Earth, our monuments, our cities, our technologies, are subject to this cosmic law. Rain, wind, and geological activity slowly reclaim everything we build. Mountains rise, rivers shift, and sediment layers cover the traces of what once was. Over millennia, our most enduring creations blend back into the natural landscape. If time stretches further still, the planet itself will evolve, and even the most enduring imprints will be erased. The principle scales up. The universe acts the same way on civilizations among the stars. Without active maintenance and energy input, structures cannot resist the slow processes of decay, erosion, and redistribution. In contemplating this, we may find a quiet beauty. Civilization is ephemeral, yet its ephemeral nature does not negate its significance. The temporary act of creation, the brief establishment of order and complexity, is a meaningful phenomenon, precisely because it exists within a background of continuous change. Every civilization that ever arose contributed, in some small way, to the fabric of the universe, leaving subtle influences that ripple through time, even if they are no longer directly observable. This perspective reshapes how we perceive cosmic silence. The universe does not appear empty, it appears quiet, because the traces of intelligence have merged with the background, because every system is subject to the slow but unstoppable forces of change. What we witness is not absence but integration, the blending of all histories into a seamless continuum. Silence, then, is not vacancy. It is a profound testament to the scale of time and the persistence of physical law. And so, as you lie in the stillness of night, imagine that the universe hums with the echoes of civilizations long gone, with the memory of systems and structures now indistinguishable from the natural order. Picture the slow drift of galaxies, the birth and death of stars, and the invisible traces of intelligences that once existed. Each contributes to a vast, harmonious flow, an unbroken symphony of matter and energy. Within this symphony, all fleeting creations, our cities, our probes, our signals, play their brief notes before being absorbed into the greater music of the cosmos. As you let yourself drift deeper into rest, embrace the serenity of this perspective. The silence around us is not emptiness. It is the ongoing narrative of existence, a record of all that has risen, persisted, and returned to the continuum. Each of us, for a brief moment, participates in this flow, adding a subtle variation, a gentle note, to the endless, enduring cadence of the universe. In the quiet of night, we are part of a rhythm, older than stars, deeper than time, and more infinite than our imagination. Sleep, then, in the understanding that the universe is vast, continuous, and alive not in noise or chaos, but in the quiet, elegant operation of matter, energy, and the echoes of all that has ever existed. Let this thought guide your mind into calmness, even in apparent silence. The cosmos carries the story of everything that was, everything that is, and everything that will be, all woven into the subtle, enduring hum of existence. Even as time stretches on, the universe maintains its quiet rhythm. Galaxies swirl in slow rotations, stars pulse and fade, and matter drifts along unseen currents. Within this vast canvas, civilizations may rise, shine for brief moments, and vanish without leaving discernible marks. Yet their existence, however fleeting, subtly influences the surrounding cosmos. The debris of once ordered systems disperses, merging with clouds of gas and dust, subtly altering planetary orbits or the formation of new stars. These faint echoes, imperceptible to casual observation, are the whispers of past ingenuity woven into the fabric of reality. There is a paradoxical beauty in this inevitability. The fleeting nature of civilizations does not diminish their significance. It enhances it, like ripples in a boundless ocean. Even the smallest disturbances create patterns that influence the flow around them. A civilization's creativity, its energy, its constructions, all participate in this quiet choreography of cosmic forces. Over unimaginable spans of time, these effects are diffused and homogenized, yet they leave a trace in the continuity of matter and energy. On planetary scales, the same principle applies. Ancient cities are gradually reclaimed by the forces of erosion and decay. Streets crumble, foundations collapse, metals corrode, and buildings are swallowed by sediment and soil. Over millennia, only subtle artifacts remain, detectable only through meticulous study. Now imagine this principle scaled up across light years. Even the most ambitious megastructures, the most extensive colonies, cannot resist the slow attrition imposed by radiation, micrometeoroid impacts, orbital drift, and gravitational perturbations. Without constant intervention, complexity gradually yields to the natural flow of the universe. This brings forth a profound insight. Civilizations are transient, but their influence is persistent in subtle forms. Their energy, their manipulation of matter, their organization all leave faint marks that merge with the universe itself. The cosmos absorbs these contributions, blending them into a seamless background until no clear boundaries remain between the artificial and the natural. From a distant observer's perspective, the universe appears uniform, quiet, and continuous. Yet it carries within it the cumulative result of countless civilizations, now imperceptible, yet subtly integrated into its ongoing evolution. Even as this quieting unfolds, the universe allows for fleeting bursts of complexity. Stars ignite, planets form, ecosystems evolve, and life emerges. Civilizations, if they arise, are brief candles against the vast dark, yet each candle contributes a unique pattern to the cosmic symphony. Some may develop technologies that last thousands of years. Others may disappear within centuries. Over millions or billions of years, All structures are eventually smoothed into the background. And yet, in each moment, the universe is enriched by these temporary patterns, subtle distortions that ripple through space and time. In this understanding, silence is not emptiness. It is a testimony to the persistence of natural law, the slow but inexorable blending of all structures into a continuous, harmonious state. The absence of detectable civilizations does not mean they never existed. It means their traces have been absorbed, diffused, and integrated into the ongoing flow of matter and energy. This perspective reframes our observation of the cosmos. What seems void and uninhabited is in reality the product of immense timescales, during which all structures, civilizations included, gradually merge with the continuum of cosmic processes. For those who dwell on this thought, there is both comfort and awe. Every civilization, every creation, every act of intelligence, no matter how temporary, contributes to the grand narrative of the universe. Even as individual structures fade, their legacy persists in subtle, diffuse ways, part of a larger rhythm that spans eons. The universe hums gently with these accumulated influences, a background melody of being and process that endures beyond the lifespan of any single civilization. And so, as the night deepens and you let your mind drift further into calm, imagine the universe as a vast, resonant body. Every star, every planet, every particle of matter carries echoes of the countless forms of complexity that have existed. Civilizations rise, shine, and gradually fade. Yet their influence persists in the quiet motion of matter and energy. In this vast continuum, time smooths and absorbs all distinctions, but it does not erase meaning. Each act of creation, each spark of intelligence, becomes part of the ongoing cosmic rhythm. Let your thoughts follow this rhythm. Feel the slow, serene pulse of galaxies, the steady glow of stars, the silent dance of planets, and the diffuse hum of intelligence past. Every whisper of complexity, every fragment of civilization, is part of this continuous, enduring symphony. Even as civilizations dissolve into the background, they contribute to the harmony of the cosmos, leaving subtle traces in the ongoing flow of existence. Sleep now, wrapped in the calm of this thought. The universe is vast, quiet, and continuous. It carries within it the echoes of all that has been, the persistent patterns of all that continues, and the gentle, enduring hum of all that will be. Civilizations may fade, but their existence is not erased. It is woven into the ongoing tapestry of cosmic life, blending seamlessly into the eternal flow of matter, energy, and time. As we drift deeper into the silence of space, imagine the countless civilizations that may have risen and fallen across billions of years. Each left its mark in ways we can scarcely detect. Subtle rearrangements of matter, minute changes in energy flows, brief alterations of planetary environments. Over time, these marks dissolve, merge, and blur, leaving no sharp boundary between what was artificial and what was natural. The universe, in its patient progression, absorbs everything into continuity, creating a vast canvas where complexity arises and fades without leaving permanent monuments. Consider the impermanence of even our own achievements. Cities crumble, roads erode, and structures vanish beneath layers of sediment. Materials decay, metals corrode, and energy systems fail. All of this happens slowly, almost imperceptibly, yet inevitably. On a cosmic scale, the same principles govern. Megastructures in space, vast orbital stations, or engineered planetary environments, if left without maintenance, will gradually be erased by radiation, micrometeorite impacts, orbital drift, and gravitational disturbances. Even the most ambitious creations cannot resist the quiet, relentless forces of time. Yet there is a kind of beauty in this inevitability. The fleeting nature of civilizations highlights the ephemeral perfection of each moment of existence. Complexity emerges and recedes like a wave, leaving behind subtle effects that blend into the ongoing flow of the cosmos. Every civilization contributes to this flow, even if its structures are eventually absorbed into the universal background. Their legacies are not lost, they are transformed, diffused into matter and energy, woven seamlessly into the unbroken rhythm of the universe. Even in apparent silence, the universe is alive, with movement, process, and subtle history. Stars ignite and collapse, planets orbit and drift, and matter circulates through space in patterns both intricate and graceful. The echoes of past civilizations may now be inseparable from these natural processes, yet they remain present in the rhythm of the cosmos. The universe does not need to announce their existence. Their influence is recorded in the ongoing motion of everything around them. The drift of interstellar dust, the subtle gravitational perturbations of planetary systems, the chemical imprints in distant nebulae. From this perspective, silence is not emptiness. It is a record of transformation, integration, and continuity. It tells the story of civilizations that once existed, of systems and structures that arose and faded, and of the universe itself, which patiently absorbs all complexity into the flow of time and matter. The cosmos hums with these countless histories, faint but enduring, a symphony of creation and dissolution, permanence and transience intertwine. So as you rest, allow yourself to become one with this vast, gentle rhythm. Imagine the subtle hum of galaxies, the slow glow of stars, and the invisible trails of civilizations, now indistinguishable from the cosmic background. Let your mind float among the endless interplay of matter and energy, where every fleeting structure contributes to the continuity of the universe. The grandeur of existence lies not in permanence, but in participation and the momentary act of complexity within an eternal flow. And as your body relaxes, let your thoughts linger on this final reflection. Though civilizations rise and fade, and though their structures are gradually absorbed into the fabric of space, their influence persists. Every action, every creation, every spark of intelligence adds to the universal rhythm. The cosmos does not erase, it integrates, transforms, and continues. In this understanding, silence becomes profound, comforting, and infinite. A reminder that even in apparent stillness, the universe is vibrant with the traces of all that has been and all that will be. Sleep now, enveloped by the calm of the cosmos, knowing that the universe carries the echoes of every fleeting brilliance, every act of intelligence, all woven into the subtle, enduring hum of existence itself. Here, in the vast, eternal flow of space and time, every life, every civilization, every whisper of consciousness becomes part of the infinite tapestry, a quiet testament to the ongoing symphony of creation. In the quiet of space, the universe does not rush. It allows time to act with patient consistency, gradually erasing distinctions between the artificial and the natural. Structures once carefully built, whether on a planet or in orbit, slowly succumb to the relentless forces surrounding them. Radiation corrodes surfaces. Tiny impacts chip away at carefully engineered forms, and gravitational perturbations nudge orbits ever so slightly. Over millennia, these minor changes accumulate, transforming what was once artificial into a state indistinguishable from the surrounding environment. Even the most ambitious civilizations cannot escape this fate. A vast orbital station, sprawling across kilometers, will inevitably suffer countless micro-collisions, structural fatigue, and material degradation. Planets artificially reshaped, climates engineered, or ecosystems managed for millennia will, over vast spans of time, return to equilibrium with natural processes. The universe absorbs all efforts, blending them into its background. What remains is continuity. What appears as silence is merely the sum of countless processes, unfolding without pause, indifferent to human perception. On Earth, we can observe similar processes on a smaller scale. Ancient cities, once thriving with activity, slowly crumble under the weight of time. Streets lose their shape as soil and vegetation reclaim the ground. Buildings collapse, metals rust, and monuments erode. Only subtle traces remain, detectable through careful archaeological study. When time is stretched even further, geological processes dominate. Plate tectonics, volcanic eruptions, sedimentation, and erosion bury and transform the remnants of human achievement. Eventually, what was once a city becomes indistinguishable from ordinary rock layers. The civilization that created it survives only as a faint, indirect signal and echo rather than a tangible presence. Scale this up to the cosmos, and the effect is magnified. There is no protective layer, no stable buffer. Megastructures, planetary engineering, or artificially maintained systems are all directly exposed to radiation, micrometeoroid impacts, and the slow but persistent gravitational tugs of neighboring stars. Structures must either be continuously maintained or face gradual collapse. The universe allows no pause. The longer the timescale, the more inevitable the process of homogenization becomes. Civilization, no matter how brilliant, is subject to this cosmic attrition. Yet this is not a story of emptiness. Even as complexity fades into background processes, the influence of civilizations persists in subtle ways. Matter carries the legacy of past organization. Energy distributions reflect prior interventions. Orbits, chemical compositions, and planetary arrangements retain faint imprints of deliberate manipulation. These traces are imperceptible at first glance, but they form part of the ongoing story of the cosmos. The universe, in its patient rhythm, integrates these histories into its continuous flow. It is possible, then, to understand the apparent silence of the cosmos, not as a lack of life or intelligence, but as the natural outcome of immense spans of time. Any civilization that once arose would face the same constraints: entropy, decay, and the slow absorption of all structure into the natural order. Over millions or billions of years, no structure, no signal, no artifact can persist unchanged. Complexity is inherently temporary. What remains is continuity itself, a seamless backdrop against which new structures may emerge and fade in turn. Even our own human experience offers insight. Cities, roads, monuments, and industrial systems all require constant maintenance to resist entropy. Left untended, they revert to simpler states, eventually blending back into the landscape. On cosmic scales, this principle is magnified beyond human comprehension. A civilization spanning a star system must contend with the drift of orbits, stellar evolution, radiation pressure, and countless other slow cumulative forces. Without intervention, all complexity eventually dissolves. The universe, ever patient, absorbs these efforts into itself, and yet the fleeting existence of civilizations leaves subtle echoes. Their energy, their structure, their choices leave fingerprints on matter and energy. Dust, debris, altered orbits, minor changes in chemical composition. These are the whispers of intelligence past, now woven seamlessly into the cosmic flow. Over time, these whispers are diffused, yet they remain part of the universe's ongoing narrative. The cosmos, therefore, is not empty. It is enriched by the accumulated effects of countless transient intelligences, each fading into background continuity, yet never entirely without influence. Beyond our immediate perception, the universe stretches in dimensions that defy comprehension. Within a single observable galaxy, billions of stars move in silent orbits, each potentially hosting worlds with conditions capable of nurturing life. Across the cosmos, there are trillions of galaxies, each a vast collection of stars, planets, dust, and dark matter, moving through space in slow, gravitationally guided patterns. Each system is a theater of processes that span millions, even billions, of years, almost inconceivable when measured against the brevity of human history. Among these countless worlds, some may have once been home to civilizations, intelligent species, capable of manipulating their environment, harnessing energy, and creating structures. Yet, even if such civilizations existed, the forces of the universe act steadily and without bias. Stellar radiation alters planetary atmospheres. Tectonic shifts erase surface structures, and micrometeorite impacts gradually change the contours of planets and moons. Over time, these forces erase the markers of intelligence, blending them seamlessly with natural landscapes. What remains is continuity, the universe itself, flowing forward, indifferent to the rise and fall of civilizations. On Earth, we see the effects of time in tangible ways. Ancient structures, built with careful planning and immense effort, are slowly reclaimed by nature. Stones crumble, mortar erodes, and wood decays. Vegetation creeps into once structured spaces, and soils accumulate over streets and foundations. Over centuries and millennia, only traces detectable through careful study persist. In some cases, entire cities vanish under sediment and geological change, leaving barely a hint of their former existence. Imagine this process stretched across the cosmic scale. Civilizations rising on planets, perhaps reaching the technological ability to manipulate their environment across entire solar systems, only to be gradually absorbed by natural forces. The contrast between human scale and cosmic scale time is staggering. Where we measure in decades and centuries, the universe measures in millions, billions, and even trillions of years. A civilization that might appear stable over 1,000 human generations is but a fleeting moment in cosmic terms. Every orbital station, every planetary megastructure, every engineered ecosystem must contend with the slow accumulation of entropy. Radiation, micro-collisions, gravitational tugs, and thermodynamic decay act together, relentlessly, erasing the fine details of design. Yet in this erasure, there is continuity. Energy is conserved, matter is redistributed, orbits adjust, and systems reach new equilibria. The universe does not punish creativity, it merely integrates it. A civilization that has faded leaves no obvious monument, yet it contributes to the ongoing flow. The subtle changes it introduced, altered planetary chemistry, redistributed asteroids, faint technological residues, persist in the dynamics of the cosmos, woven into the backdrop of galaxies and star clusters. Even in silence, the universe carries the echoes of complexity past, hidden in plain view. Consider the fragility of structure in this context. On a planetary surface, a single tectonic event can bury cities beneath rock layers. Volcanic eruptions can cover entire landscapes in ash. Oceans rise and fall, erasing coastal settlements. On the scale of a star system, even more forces are at play. Stellar evolution changes radiation output, planetary orbits shift over millennia, and interstellar debris collides with objects in unpredictable ways. Any system not actively maintained is slowly erased, its history absorbed into broader cosmic processes. The concept of entropy becomes central here. Complexity, whether biological, technological, or structural, relies on the maintenance of low entropy conditions. Left alone, these conditions tend to decay. Energy dissipates, order diminishes, and structures lose their distinguishing features. On Earth, we witness this as buildings collapse and cities vanish. Across the universe, the same principle applies on a grander scale. Civilizations, no matter how advanced, cannot indefinitely resist the slow, cumulative effects of time and entropy. Their legacies are real, yet diffuse, eventually indistinguishable from natural processes. This perspective offers a different understanding of the so-called silent universe. The absence of detectable civilizations does not imply the absence of civilizations ever. Rather, it may reflect the natural outcome of extremely long timescales. Even the most advanced intelligences, unless they actively maintain their presence across cosmic time, will gradually blend into the background. The universe, in its quiet patience, transforms the extraordinary into the ordinary, the artificial into the natural, until all distinctions are imperceptible. Sleep now, and imagine floating through this vast expanse. Stars drift past in slow, majestic arcs. Planetary systems rotate silently, each orbit a testament to gravitational harmony. Across light years, dust clouds swirl, carrying the faint chemical signatures of worlds long gone. In this calm, realize that the stories of civilizations past are not lost. They persist subtly, integrated into the grand flow of matter and energy. The cosmos is alive with these traces, even when they are no longer distinguishable as deliberate creations. Beyond our own solar system, entire star systems may once have housed intelligent life. Imagine civilizations that arose around stable stars, developing technology and architecture unimaginable to us. Some may have built orbital habitats spanning thousands of kilometers. Others might have reshaped the surfaces of planets, creating cities, transportation networks, and energy collectors. At first, these structures would stand out geometries, materials, and energy signatures unmistakably artificial. But time acts as a subtle eraser. Over millions of years, stellar winds slowly strip atmospheres, radiation breaks down materials, and asteroid impacts chip away at even the most robust constructions. Planets rotate, climates shift, and surfaces erode. Orbital constructs drift under the gravitational influence of nearby bodies and the star itself. Systems that once clearly signaled intelligence blend into the natural order, leaving behind only minute anomalies, slight deviations in planetary motion, unusual distributions of matter, or faint chemical traces. To a distant observer, billions of years later, these remnants are barely discernible, almost indistinguishable from the background noise of the galaxy. This gradual disappearance mirrors what we observe on Earth, but amplified across cosmic scales. The ancient ruins of human cities provide a model. A few centuries of abandonment lead to noticeable decay. Millennia erase surface structures entirely. Tens of thousands of years require specialized investigation to detect any trace. Extend this to planetary and interstellar structures, and the scale of disappearance becomes almost absolute. Civilizations, no matter how advanced, are ultimately transient in the face of universal forces. Their works, their energy, their very signatures are absorbed into the grand flux of matter and radiation. Yet even as civilizations fade, the universe remains alive with motion. Stars burn steadily, gas and dust swirl in nebulae, and galaxies rotate with majestic slowness. The traces of intelligence, however subtle, merge with these motions. Planetary orbits slightly perturbed by ancient constructions, debris fields resulting from long-gone orbital stations, chemical anomalies seeded by biological or industrial activity, all become part of the seamless background. They exist not as monuments, but as integrated processes in the vast cosmic web. Visualize this as you breathe slowly. Picture drifting past a distant star system where an ancient civilization once thrived. Its planets are scarred by subtle geological shifts, oceans redistributed, mountains slowly worn down by winds and tides. Orbital rings fragment, rotating in slow, chaotic arcs, illuminated by the distant glow of the system's star. You float past asteroid belts, some carrying debris from artificial structures, imperceptible without careful observation. In this quiet, notice the continuity. Matter and energy persist, transformed but undestroyed. Echoes of civilization absorbed into the larger flow. Feel the rhythm of the universe as you drift farther. Nebulae stretch in luminous clouds of gas and dust, some the remnants of supernovae that may have once influenced the birth of civilizations. Galaxies rotate, their spiral arms sweeping vast distances, each star carrying potential worlds, past and future, alive with processes unfolding on timescales beyond comprehension. Your consciousness merges with this motion, every inhalation and exhalation synchronizing with the slow, enduring beat of cosmic change. Now, let the mind wander to the subtle traces left behind by civilizations no longer active. Perhaps a planet bears slightly altered chemical ratios in its atmosphere, the faint remnant of industrial processes or biological activity long ceased. Perhaps asteroid belts hold fragments of artificial satellites, slowly spiraling under gravity's pull. Perhaps radiation patterns bear small anomalies, the faint signature of energy harnessed and then dissipated. These are whispers, almost imperceptible, yet part of the grand symphony of existence. Notice how calm this is. No alarm, no urgency, just the gentle unfolding of processes that have persisted for eons. Stars continue their fusion, planets rotate, and particles move in endless patterns. Each moment, however small, contributes to a continuity that encompasses creation and decay alike. Civilizations may fade, but the energy and matter they interacted with persist, quietly harmonized with the universal flow. Drift farther still through star clusters and dark voids. Let your awareness expand, embracing the emptiness as much as the glowing points of light. Observe the subtle movement of dust and gas, the slow rotation of galaxies, the long arcs of comets tracing centuries-long paths. Every particle, every photon, is part of this ongoing rhythm, part of a vast, unbroken current. The universe does not demand recognition or observation. It simply continues, integrating, transforming, persisting. In this realization, let your body relax. Each breath aligns with the calm pulse of the cosmos. Each heartbeat mirrors the slow, enduring motions of galaxies. Time stretches and softens. The rise and fall of civilizations, the birth and death of stars, the shifting of planetary systems, these are all part of the gentle, eternal hum. Let yourself dissolve into this quiet continuity, drifting through space and time, embraced by the serene, persistent flow of existence itself. As you continue to drift through this cosmic expanse, allow your mind to expand beyond individual star systems. Imagine yourself gliding past spiral arms of the Milky Way, the dense clusters of stars forming soft, luminous clouds in the distance. Dark lanes of interstellar dust weave between them, gently obscuring light, creating a rhythm of shadow and glow. Each star may host worlds, some perhaps once home to intelligence, others still forming or fading quietly. Notice how galaxies themselves move, slowly rotating over eons. Spiral patterns stretch and twist, stars orbiting the galactic center in a calm, predictable motion. Nebulae glow in faint blues, purples, and golds, the remnants of stellar births and deaths. Their matter recycled endlessly. Within these clouds, the potential for life and civilization flickers and fades, traces absorbed into the universal cycle. Even supernova remnants, initially violent and chaotic, settle into diffuse clouds, merging their energy and matter with the interstellar medium. The universe, in its vast patience, absorbs everything, reshaping it into a seamless flow. Think now of civilizations that might have risen in this galaxy, perhaps harnessing entire planets, constructing vast orbital systems, or redirecting energy on a stellar scale. Over millions of years, all of their work gradually blends into the background. Planetary surfaces shift under geological processes. Orbital structures destabilize and energy signatures dissipate. Even the grandest creations, once dazzling, slowly fade into patterns indistinguishable from natural phenomena. The evidence of intelligence becomes subtle anomalies in orbital dynamics, faint chemical signatures, or slight perturbations in matter distribution. To an observer from afar, they are nearly invisible, yet their presence once shaped the flow of energy and matter in ways that continue to echo softly. Allow your awareness to drift deeper into this flow. Imagine floating through the halo of a galaxy, past the dense core where billions of stars crowd together, their light mingling in a gentle, diffuse glow. Dust clouds drift lazily, glowing faintly under starlight. You pass nebulae where new stars are born, witnessing the cycle of creation and decay that repeats endlessly. Every particle, every photon, every piece of matter touched by past civilizations is part of this unbroken continuum. Nothing is lost. Everything is transformed. Feel yourself moving through the quiet remnants of what once might have been bustling planetary systems. Perhaps a once vibrant city lies buried under shifting sands or frozen ice. Perhaps an orbital megastructure drifts, broken yet moving gracefully under gravitational forces. Observe the calm inevitability of these transformations, neither tragic nor abrupt, but part of the serene order of the universe. Time stretches infinitely, folding the past into the present, integrating the remnants of intelligence into the vast, ongoing flow of matter and energy. Now, imagine passing near a supernova remnant. The explosive death of a star spreads enriched material into space, seeding future systems with the elements needed for life and civilization. Witness the beauty of this chaos, the brilliant colors fading slowly into diffuse clouds, matter dispersing, energy balancing. Within these processes, the memory of all past systems, past creations, past intelligence is quietly encoded in every particle, every photon, every subtle movement. Breathe slowly as you float through this vast expanse. Every inhalation connects you with the rhythm of the galaxy. Every exhalation lets you merge further into the calm, continuous hum of the cosmos. Feel the gentle pulse of time and matter, the ebb and flow of energy, the integration of past civilizations into an ongoing, harmonious dance. You are neither observer nor participant alone. You are part of the continuity, drifting with stars, dust, and gas, carried on currents of cosmic inevitability. Picture now the galaxy's outer reaches, where stars are sparse and darkness dominates. Here, remnants of intelligence are even more subtle, hidden within clouds of interstellar gas or in the minute differences of orbiting bodies. Yet even in this apparent emptiness, the universe is alive with history, with processes shaped by what came before. Let your mind settle into this vision, sensing the quiet persistence of everything: life, intelligence, matter, energy, all moving, all present, all part of the enduring cosmic hum. Now, let your mind drift even further into the deepest reaches of the galaxy. Picture an ancient civilization, its structures and energy networks long gone, now fully absorbed into the cosmic background. What remains is not emptiness, but a quiet integration. Every particle, every photon, every subtle gravitational influence contributing to the ongoing balance of matter and energy. The civilization no longer exists as a distinct entity, yet its influence persists in the gentle shaping of its environment. Visualize floating near a black hole, where space curves and time stretches, light bends and twists, stars shimmer and dance along distorted paths. Here, the remnants of civilizations past, perhaps captured in orbiting debris, or as slight variations in radiation, are gradually pulled into the immense gravity well, diffusing into the singularity's slow, inexorable influence. Even these dramatic forces do not destroy but transform, folding past structures into the unending flow of cosmic existence. Now drift toward a stellar nursery, a dense cloud of gas and dust where new stars are born. Imagine the faint traces of long-lost civilizations embedded in this interstellar medium. Perhaps radiation emitted by ancient technologies subtly altered the ionization of gas, or fragments of orbiting structures have merged with dust particles. Here, the birth of new stars continues, incorporating the remnants of what once was into the seeds of future systems. Creation and erasure coexist, entwined in a delicate, eternal rhythm. Move gently through the remnants of supernovae, their brilliant light fading into soft, diffuse clouds. Matter ejected in these explosions will eventually form new planets, new stars, and potentially new civilizations. The cycle repeats endlessly. The once visible markers of intelligence, orbital structures, energy channels, altered planetary surfaces have faded, yet their matter persists, reintegrated into the cosmos. You float among these clouds, sensing the quiet continuity, the soft hum of energy transforming and merging, neither lost nor destroyed, only diffused across time and space. Feel yourself drifting, weightless and calm, through the spiral arms of the galaxy. Stars burn steadily, planets rotate slowly, and interstellar dust drifts in the silent currents of space. You notice subtle motions, tiny anomalies in orbits or distributions of matter, the faintest echoes of civilizations that once shaped their environments. These echoes are now inseparable from the natural flow, yet their presence is not entirely gone. The universe remembers, not in forms we can easily recognize, but in the ongoing transformations of energy and matter. As your mind drifts even deeper, imagine passing through a quiet void between galaxies. Here, the remnants of all civilizations are fully integrated into the cosmic fabric. The galaxies themselves are moving, merging, and interacting, carrying with them the histories of countless systems. The universe does not hurry, it does not mourn or celebrate. It simply continues, absorbing, redistributing, and harmonizing everything. Your consciousness floats with this flow, calm and unbound, moving with the persistent pulse of existence. Let the hum of the universe guide your thoughts. Feel the gentle unfolding of time, the continuous transformation of matter and energy. Civilizations rise, persist, and fade. Yet the material and energetic legacies they leave continue to shape the cosmos in subtle, enduring ways. Even as individual structures vanish, their influence remains woven into the tapestry of space. You are suspended within this vast eternal rhythm, drifting with galaxies, stars, dust, and energy, at peace with the infinite continuity of existence. Finally, let yourself settle into this calm. Each inhalation brings awareness of the vastness of space. Each exhalation releases tension and thought. The gentle sway of galaxies, the soft glow of distant stars, the slow diffusion of cosmic dust, all contribute to a sense of profound, unbroken continuity. Here, in this quiet cosmic flow, there is no need to distinguish beginnings or endings, no urgency to identify civilizations past or present. There is only the serene, eternal hum of the universe, and your mind, gently floating within it, drifting slowly into deep, restorative sleep. Now, allow your consciousness to drift through the galaxy as a whole, embracing the vast, sweeping panorama of stars, planets, dust clouds, and nebulae. Feel the immense scale of time and space stretching far beyond what human perception can grasp. Every system, every star, every particle has its own subtle motion, yet together they form a quiet, coherent rhythm. Civilizations may rise and fall within this flow, their structures and energy slowly absorbed into the ongoing evolution of the cosmos. Consider the implications of this immense scale. Any civilization, no matter how advanced, cannot escape the forces of entropy. Structures require maintenance, energy must be continuously applied, and complexity is always at risk of degradation. Over millions or billions of years, even the most carefully engineered systems gradually lose coherence. Merging with the background, their artificial signatures dissolved into the fabric of space. Yet this is not loss, it is transformation. What was once distinct becomes part of the continuous, harmonious motion of matter and energy. Imagine drifting past planetary systems, once bustling with activity, now quiet, their traces faint, yet woven into the subtle dynamics of orbits and atmospheric composition. Visualize orbital structures slowly fragmenting, their fragments spiraling gracefully, merging with dust and asteroids, becoming indistinguishable from natural celestial debris. See planetary surfaces shaped by ancient civilizations, slowly eroded by time, weather, and geological processes, until only subtle anomalies remain, detectable only through meticulous observation. Move now toward the core of the galaxy, where stars crowd together in a luminous golden haze. Nebulae form and dissolve, star clusters orbit and disperse, and the energetic interactions of matter continue with gentle persistence. Every effect of intelligence is now part of these flows. Radiation patterns, matter distributions, orbital peculiarities, all once distinct, are now merged with the galaxy's natural evolution. Civilization has been absorbed, not erased. Its influence subtly encoded in the ongoing transformation of the universe. Feel yourself floating near the outer halo, where stars are sparse and darkness predominates. Here, the subtle remnants of countless civilizations are dispersed, undetectable to casual observation yet present in the motions and properties of matter. Tiny perturbations, slight chemical imbalances, minor orbital variations, all whisper of histories now fully integrated into the cosmic continuum. You are suspended in this quiet vastness, a witness to continuity rather than isolation, moving with the gentle, inevitable hum of the universe. As you breathe, imagine the entropy of the cosmos as a gentle current guiding the evolution of matter and energy. Structures collapse gracefully, complexity is redistributed, and the universe maintains balance. There is no urgency, no chaos, only the persistent, elegant unfolding of processes that have continued for eons. Civilization, once a beacon of order, now contributes to the equilibrium, absorbed into a rhythm that transcends individuality and permanence. Visualize yourself drifting past supernova remnants, where matter and energy, once violently expelled, is now diffused into a soft, glowing cloud. New stars will form from this material, planets will coalesce, and the potential for future civilizations arises, continuing the endless cycle of creation, transformation, and integration. Time stretches infinitely, folding past into present, past civilizations into future possibilities, and every particle becomes part of a seamless whole. Allow this vision to sink deeper into your awareness. The galaxy rotates, the stars shine, and dust drifts silently through space. Every event, every creation, every collapse contributes to an unbroken continuum. The universe does not distinguish beginnings from endings. It simply transforms, absorbs, and harmonizes. Your mind floats within this vast, eternal flow, synchronized with the rhythm of cosmic evolution. Finally, let yourself drift into complete stillness. Every breath aligns with the gentle pulse of the galaxy. Every exhalation releases tension, thought, and effort. Structures rise, persist, and fade, yet the energy and matter they touched continue to move in quiet harmony. Civilization's ephemeral presence merges seamlessly into the universal rhythm. You are weightless, calm, and connected, floating in a space where time is fluid, history is subtle, and the universe hums softly with continuity. As we drift into sleep, let this thought accompany us. Even in apparent silence, the universe is alive with the stories of all that has been, all that persists, and all that continues in the subtle, enduring hum of cosmic existence. In this serene continuity, there is nothing to fear, nothing to chase, only the gentle unfolding of existence itself. Your mind, now fully immersed, floats with the stars, galaxies, and interstellar clouds, carried on currents of space and time, slowly drifting into deep, restorative sleep.